Spring Valley, nestled in the beautiful rolling terrain of Greene County, Ohio, is the home of the Potato Festival, held annually in the autumn. It is also the home of one of its most famous residents, Carl E. Smith, who has frequently been involved with some aspect of the Potato Festival. Carl, born in Spring Valley in 1889 and the son of a country doctor, has been a teacher, speaker, writer, poet, and an avid outdoorsman throughout the near century of his life. In his early years, Carl taught both in this former school in Spring Valley as well as in this former school in nearby Bellbrook. Carl is also a veteran of World War I and has outlived all charter members of the American Legion Post 95. As Memorial Day 1985 approaches, we thought that it would be appropriate to visit Carl for a chat with emphasis on reflections on the meaning of Memorial Day. Speaking with Carl today is Stephen A. Gary, Bellbrook delegate to the Miami Valley Cable Council, who will accept a donation of Carl's poetry on behalf of the Cable Council. We didn't know it, but Carl is also a pianist. We'll close our program with a medley of patriotic and military pieces as played by this 96-year-old World War I veteran. Let's now join Steve as he talks with Carl Smith of Spring Valley.
Thank you, Earl. We are all going to bring you an interview with one of the most interesting and exciting gentlemen that I have ever had the pleasure to meet. First, I would like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Smith for the privilege of coming into your home today, and I've always said behind every great man is a great woman or a mother-in-law. Second, to my far left, I want you to meet Mr. Dewey Bird of Sugar Creek Township, who is president of the Bellbrook Historical Society for the past 9 years. Mr. Bird is a descendant of Andrew Bird, who discovered the magnetic springs in Bellbrook in 1883. Thank you very much, Dewey, for helping this interview.
Okay, Steve.
The theme today, what Memorial Day means to me. I first met this astounding gentleman during the 1983 Sugar Maple Festival held in Bellbrook, Ohio. Carl has had many deserving honors bestowed upon him during his 95 years. It is the greatest of pleasure that we bring you Mr. Carl E. Smith of Spring Valley, Ohio. Carl just recently was appointed Poet Laureate of Ohio, and recently was honored by Governor Celeste for one of the outstanding senior citizens of the state of Ohio. And Carl, with your permission, and I know you're agile enough, in fact I think you're a little more chippy today than I am, but with your permission and your help, would you like to show some of these points of recognition or plaques of recognition that you have been bestowed upon you in the past few years? Carl?
Well, I'll be glad to go around with you. I call these my glory walls.
Glory
for lack
walls.
of a better
That sounds real good.
And we'll begin over here with this end. And I'll try to briefly outline for you. I always say that I'm like the little boy who came home and told his grandmother, "Grandmother, I didn't get a prize at school, but I got horrible mention." So I've gotten quite a few horrible mentions, which I'll outline for you. This is the Greene County Historical Society Award for 1976. And here's one at the Spatial Potato Festival. Poet laureate Carl E. Smith, local historian of Spring Valley, Ohio, 1980. And then for the best speech of the year, Bacon Toastmasters Club, Dayton Fairborn, I got the Silver Gavel, best speech of the year in 1983, 82. Then last Tuesday, Mr. Scherer took me up. We inducted Judge Sloffman, who won it this year. Mr. Eichmann got me the wooden gavel for the best speech of the year in 1982 to the Farm Forum. It is made from a post in the old YMCA building where E.R. Bryant, Henry Ford's brother-in-law, used to sell Fords.
Well, what do you know?
And my uncle, the first police judge of Xenia, Judge E. Dawson Smith, my brother, the late Judge George H. Smith, common pleas judge of Xenia, had their offices in the upper part of that building. It's made from a post there.
In this large frame,
This
that's
is a resolution from the Ohio State Senatorial Association appointing me Poet Laureate of Ohio. And Marilyn Eichmann out at the Greenwood Manor got me that for a talk I made out there. And with my typical blundering, I went in the wrong driveway, wound up in the dog pound. They directed me on, and when I finally got there, a little bit late, it developed that I was the oldest person in the room.
Is that
when
right?
you're older than the old folks home, you're some old.
How about that?
No question about that. And this is the 50th anniversary. Senator DeWine, now Representative DeWine, got me that on occasion of my 50th anniversary with the Legion. However, that is 66 now.
Oh, is that
I
right?
have my 65th star. It isn't on yet, but the 60th is. I joined the American Legion when I came back from Germany after the First World War. We were Corps artillery, I told you. They sent in like a pinch hitter. We if some outfit gets their artillery shot up, you're going to help them see if you can get shot up too.
How about
and
that?
sometimes succeed a little too well. We supported the 17th French, the 89th, 91st, General MacArthur's on one push, and the 29th and the 32nd. We happened to be with the 32nd when the armistice was signed. I rode my riding mare into Germany, was a German interpreter. I used to teach German, among other languages, and I was a German interpreter up in Germany, see?
Is that right?
I made a talk again to Cedarville College last week, but my next talk's going to be to the German department in Germany,
Well, what do you know?
German. See,
Carl, would you like to move along?
Now, I wanted to tell you, in the supply company, 322nd, I was in the artillery with Mike DeWine's grandfather, George DeWine, of DeWine and Hammer. He was one of our wagon sergeants, sheltered me in his wagon when he could up at the front, when I'd had to slept in the mud if it hadn't been for George DeWine.
You were in the cavalry?
No, I was in the artillery.
Well, you were.
I was mounted in the artillery.
Well, Mr. DeWine, was he in the cavalry?
No, he was in our company, one of our wagon sergeants.
Oh, I see.
Supply company, 322nd LFA.